Welcome, everybody. It is day 10 of Seattle Seahawks Training Camp practice. Just wrapped up a few minutes ago. I am Mookie Alexander, Field Goals. This is Bryce Coutts, also a Field Goals and host of the Hawks Eye podcast. So, Bryce, not a padded practice today. Still a lot of things to observe. What stood out to you the most just through that 2.5 hours?
I think we can honestly say today, Mookie, that this was the day the defense kind of got back on track. We had heard a little bit through the first bit of this week that the defense was struggling. The offense was really kind of taking it to them. And I think today we saw that the defense kind of heard that, and they definitely came out guns a-blazing and really put some pressure on that offense today.
Yeah, one thing that was very noticeable throughout practice with the red zone defense was airtight. And it was one of the best in the league last year. It's looking like that this year. So, early on in training camp, offense, as you said, was getting the better of the defense. It wasn't all about losses for the offense, so to speak. That Sam Darnold to Rashid Shaheed connection, it's looking real.
It looks very real, and there's some definitely changes to this offense. We saw the over route today by Shaheed, which is something we didn't see a lot of last year. And there's a couple different wrinkles to this offense. So I'm not going to say anything right now about it. We'll definitely get into that, I'm sure, tonight on the Syndicate show. But you can definitely see that there is a bit of a philosophy change in some respects to the Seahawks offense, which I think will be really exciting for fans this year and make things a little bit more difficult for defenses to defend Seattle.
We've been focusing a lot on the run game, particularly with Jadarian Price and George Trelawney getting in some time with the ones. Price actually got run all the way through the threes with Jalen Milroe, but wouldn't describe the run game as particularly crisp, and maybe that's why Brian Fleury said the run game could be better.
Yeah, I think that's one thing they're still trying to figure out the kinks in. Part of it's learning these new motions that we're seeing. Part of it is getting this running back group. You are still missing Zach Charbonnet. It definitely, you can feel it. You can feel there's something missing in this run game, and I think it's something they're going to still be striving to figure out in the coming weeks.
Now, let's flip to the defensive side of the ball. As you said, defense for the most part won the day, but it's easy to talk about the starters. One thing that caught our attention is who was at the safety spots, and we're seeing a lot more of a guy who was on the practice squad last year.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more Maxton Hook today, which is kind of surprising, running with the twos. And he ran with the twos the majority of the time. It would be probably, I'd say, 70% of the time he was out there. They'd rotate the other spot, and he actually looked pretty good. The other thing I'd say, too, is the two young rookie corners, and Andre Fuller and Michael Dansby, were flying around the ball today and playing really well.
Yeah, Michael Dansby continuing to make some impressive plays. He closes to the ball quickly. You can see that speed on display. We don't really know if he runs a 4.2 40, but it sure looked it on the field. Getting to the starters, getting to the ones. Julian Neal didn't practice today. He continues to be out with injury. So that's opened up a lot of opportunities for Noah Igbenogany and Nehemiah Pritchett. And we saw quite a bit of Pritchett today on the outside, and he's looking quite good.
Yeah, he is really looking quite good. He's clearly gotten some more confidence, I'd say, from the back end of last year. He had a couple plays that he made throughout the season. You can definitely see that he's more comfortable playing that corner spot. They moved him into the boundary a little bit more today. But overall, I'd say Nehemiah Pritchett is really making a strong case to be in that quarterback 3, cornerback 4 battle in camp.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the top battles to watch throughout camp and into preseason. Another thing that certainly caught my attention, the pass rush still looks good with the ones, but the deeper you get beyond Dante Fowler, we're still waiting for that one guy to really break out. I thought Jalen Gaines had a couple of good reps, but otherwise it was a bit of a struggle for the rest of those guys.
Yeah, it really is, and this is one thing that I'm definitely kind of weary about still. We'll have to see when pads come on and they get into the practices of those and as well as the preseason games, but Aiden Hubbard didn't really flash. Marvin Jones didn't really flash. So once you kind of get through that initial depth of that front group, it kind of paces itself off. And it's something where I'm really kind of worried that Seattle might need to go and get something to add to it.
Now, on the plus side, on the interior, Riley Mills, he's been one of the stars at camp so far. And it's just impressive to see how strong he looks.
Yeah, how strong he is and how versatile he is. They move him up and down that defensive line, and he constantly, I think today, at least had 3 sacks, so they basically let the play continue because he blew it up so quickly.
Yeah, definitely there were a lot of opportunities for would-be sacks in a normal game. DeAnthony Bell on the safeties position. With Nicky Monroe out, DeAnthony Bell, much like last year, he's a guy who, at the very least, could be on the ready squad, but after he got claimed last year, maybe they want to keep him on there.
I think they will. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what this secondary room shakes out. It's going to be something we're going to be seeing on Friday and through FanFest, too.
Yeah, so we've got a lot more to talk about tonight, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, down at the Fast Fashion Brewery in Sodo. So if you're in town, come check it out. If you're not in town or can't make it, it's going to live stream on YouTube, on Seahawks Forever, on Brandon Kane's The Hawks Nest, and on Bryce's The Hawks Eye. You also can watch it over at Field Goals. And Corbin Smith is going to be our special guest tonight. So that's all for us for now, and we'll see you in a couple of hours then.